was born and raised in Honduras. I moved to the state when I was 18 years old after a civil war that we had at that time. Grew up really poor. I moved to Portland, Oregon to live there with my mom. Wanted to stay here for 6 months. I went back and then at the moment realized I didn't have pretty much a future down there. Flew back to Portland and I didn't really have any clear direction where to go with my life. I don't think anybody at 18 or 19 years old would really know that or have the answer for it. I did a lot of jobs in between, but my main thing was I always wanted to go to school, because one thing that my mom and my father taught me is you can lose everything in life but your knowledge. So I figured might as well go to school. Not really had any career path. I always like animals. I always like being around dogs and cats, chickens and whatnot. And I always wanted to be a vet, but my mom always told me, no, you could be an engineer. You'd be better for that. And very, very boring. Couldn't really do it. So I did a lot of works in between, from working at grocery stores to working at a shipping company for orthopedic plants. And there was just that, just a regular job to me. They were never give me any satisfaction or make me happy per se. During that process, I'm basically just working through my living life, I guess, and decided to join the Army at that time. It seemed like a good fit, seemed like a good option, and see where we go from there. And I did that. I went and joined the Army, became an indirect fire motorman. And my career in the Army was very uneventful. But I do remember one incident. I'm basically sleeping in what we call a ranger grave. Basically, you dig a hole in the ground and you put your blanket on and you go to bed. And I wake up to a gunfire and just stood up and I said, man, I always wanted to be a vet. I don't know what I'm doing here. Did my time in the Army. I got out of the Army. And during that time, I said, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to vet school. Well, little idea did I have that how difficult and how competitive vet school was. I went back to Portland. I joined the Oregon National Guard because once in the Army, kind of liked it. And I kind of started taking classes at Oregon State, working multiple jobs, animal related. I was working as a technician at my friend and mentor, Dr. Chris McElmoyle in Oregon City. And he was helping me get all my classes in order. He was helping me get everything that I needed, preparing me basically for vet school application. I was working at the OSU dairy farm because I like I said, I needed more time working with cows, and I really like that. I work at a OSU meat processing center, processing beef, and then I work at a research lab and research ranch there in Corvallis, Oregon. I applied to vet school and came to Western. Other things that what drives me, I would say, fear of failure. One of the words that I hate the most is disappointment. And I don't like to disappoint myself, and I don't like to disappoint anybody else. So I would say that's what really drives me, that I want to be a better person than I was yesterday. I try to learn something new every day, even if it's something that I already knew and I forgot. I try to remember that. I would say that's what really drives me. I think what really excites me about being in VetMed is the fact that I really do what I love. I don't see it as a job. I see it as part of my life without letting that define me as a person. Veterinary medicine is what I do, not who I am, but it does play a role in my daily life. The future is bright for VetMed. I can wait maybe 10, 15 years to see where we are with this. I think science is advancing relatively fast, and we're coming up with new treatments for diseases that we didn't have any cure before. who knows, maybe in 15 years we have the cure for cancer. And maybe I think it will be through VetMed that we're going to be able to find it, because how diverse our profession is. Rather than just focusing on one thing, we have many things, and I think we have some of the brightest minds in our profession that I'm just waiting for that. Absolutely not. 100% now. We all had this idea when we graduated vet school that I don't think we think about it long term. We just think about, I'm going to become a veterinarian, and I think that's as far as we go. Never in my life, for example, I would have thought that one of my interests would be cardiology. Yet I find myself working with a cardiologist every Sunday for the last year and a half. And I never would have thought that doing echoes and reading ECGs was going to be one of the things that I really like about VetMed. So I would say no, it doesn't really match what I imagined. I don't think I ever thought about it. So I run a free spay neuter clinic in Honduras, open to the public. We try to focus more in people with basically poor people with no resources and stray animals. I've been doing that for the last 3 years. I put it together myself. I work it together myself, so we can say that this is like my baby. The vaccine clinic with a Western Shelter for Animals, that's a project that they had prior. During the COVID, they had to shut it down. They couldn't find a doctor to run it for them, and once they find out that I was a doctor, they asked me very politely if I would run it for them, and I say absolutely, count me in. And what they do is they offer a low-cost vaccine clinic open to the community of Ontario, Pomona, and that's what we do. We focus on vaccinating animals, not just for your regular parvo vaccine or Bordetella. We also protecting them against zoonotic diseases like lepto and rabies, and I think they really care about the animals in that community. So by offering my services as a vet, I'm also protecting the community around me, and I think that's a wonderful thing to do. Future plans, I will continue to do my spay and neuter clinic in Honduras once a year. My goal is to involve students, not just from the US, but also students from Honduras from vet school. I don't think they get the opportunities of resources that we have here, and I think sharing that, spreading the knowledge around, it should be something that we should be able to do. That's one of the little projects there. For West End, I think we're talking about putting together a wellness clinic open to the public, low cost. That way, we don't only focus on vaccines, but we're able to see patients now. We don't really have a date for that. We're in the talks on it. That's about it so far. For success-wise, I think the biggest thing that I really like, or the biggest thing that I look forward to, is to continue seeing my classmates succeed in life. It has been wonderful seeing all my classmates continue to push forward and get the residency that they always wanted, and get this XYZ that they always wanted. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because I feel like we're connected for life, and seeing them continue to succeed is one of the biggest things that I'm proud of. So. I would say for prospect DVM students or people that are thinking about getting into VetMed, I would say volunteer at a shelter if you can. Go shadow a doctor a couple of times. Go see if it is really for you. It is not all puppies and kittens. It's more than that. So I would say try it before you buy it. And for current students, just trust the process. The process is there for a reason. It might not make sense right now, but later on you will be shocked on how much it did make sense now. And just I would say I like to live with that thing. I like to tell myself every day of face your fears, live your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you no.